And we're here for another AI Weekly Roundup. So for those of you that haven't seen my earlier videos, this roundup is a AI generated summary of the content that I've consumed in the last week, YouTube podcasts and other things, summarized, transcribed by AI, summarized into a report. And then I have this weekly summary that I'm sharing with the team. And then because I'm sharing with the team, I might as well share it with everyone else out there. So let's go. Hey everyone, this week was absolutely packed with AI announcements and innovations, and it really was. I've been diving into all the latest updates from Google I/O, Anthropic, Microsoft, and OpenAI, and let me tell you, there's plenty to unpack. From groundbreaking models like Google's VO3 and Gemini Diffusion, to some genuinely surprising and honestly a bit weird capabilities from Claude 4. And I don't know if the AI summary is written about those weird things from Claude 4, but I'll definitely touch onto them. It feels like we're on the brink of another major tech shift. That I don't agree with as much. Plus, rumors surrounding OpenAI's collaboration with legendary designer Jony Ive hint we might soon experience another iPhone moment. So that one's probably really interesting because are they going to make a phone, a device? There were some leaks yesterday. I might mention this further down, but I'll just cover it now, that it's going to be a pocketable device, that the Humane Pin and the Rabbit AI were terrible experiences, not going to be a wearable, so it'll be on you and probably voice activated more than anything else. Okay, so let's get going. Google's AI evolution, new models, new possibilities. Starting off, Google brought out the big guns this year at Google I/O, unveiling powerful new tools under their AI Ultra initiative. The standout for me was definitely VO3. Well, I'm glad it was ChatGPT, but the standout for me was the ability of the new coding models and how good they actually work at putting things together, and some of the examples that the YouTubers do in those one-shot prompts have been amazing. VO3, I'm guessing it's O3 similar, but then V in front, so VEO, but it creates stunningly photorealistic videos complete with dialogue, realistic physics for the most part, and dynamic scenes from simple user prompts. So if you see online, you've probably seen a lot of these videos. Even Google released an ad promoting the service using videos created by the service. They're really good. They're at another level. So prepare to be flooded on social media and LinkedIn and YouTube with AI generated content that you will have a hard time picking when it's real or not now. The demo even improved the famous benchmarks like Will Smith's eating spaghetti. Check that one out. He's eating like dry spaghetti. It's very crunchy, the sound they put together, but definitely miles and leaps ahead of where it was when we had that first AI generated video. Another headliner was Google's Gemini Diffusion. So this is their real big change in the way that they brought out their new models. So diffusion models are different to the transformers, where the transformers guess the next word and try to be smart and predict things. Diffusion models are really fast. The way they generally work in images is you may get a picture of static, and then it improves the static effectively over multiple iterations to get to an image of what you want to get to. They're doing this with text. So I don't know if they're like generating the pictures of the text and then getting it to iterate on that like static image and then improve and generate a full picture of text and then OCR it, or it's a different way of actually getting text out of the model. But it's fast. Google showcased Jules, a revolutionary asynchronous AI coding assistant built with Gemini 2.5 Pro. So this is an AI tool that you can plug into GitHub, and it can just write code, fix bugs, and make improvements for you while you're not there. Google Beam and Android XR glasses rounded out the hardware announcements, bringing immersive telepresence and augmented reality guidance to everyday life. So this will be pretty interesting. These glasses, I think, are what Google Glass, if you think about 10 years ago, was, where you had the headset with like the little glasses and you could see through one of them and take photos. It's what that should have been, but the technology wasn't there to get us there. You really needed AI on top of it, not just like the Google Now assistants. Anthropic's Claude 4, brilliant but bizarre. So since that was announced on Thursday, I think I've done 7 to 8 hours over the weekend of coding with it. I'm not going to call it vibe coding because I actually know what I'm doing, but pretty impressive. Not sure where I stand on that versus 3.7 yet in my small tests, or 4.1 from ChatGPT or OpenAI. It is better. but I've also changed the way that I'm doing things. So I haven't tested this approach and how I'm structuring everything with the new models, because that'll really give me a better definition. But by all accounts, it's meant to be better. It's working better, less errors, less recursion, and less trying to fix things from what I've seen so far. So Anthropic made waves this week by releasing Claude 4 Opus and Sonnet. Claude 4 is seriously ambitious, featuring advanced capabilities for coding and reasoning tasks, and significantly improving memory retention and tool integration. So in my coding experience, it still has a 200,000 context token length, so it's not that great. Still, you have to clear it out quite often, so otherwise it gets lost, but it is definitely better. I started using the thinking model last night when I was testing, and you can see thinking and then approaching. So it is doing what it says in the box. Claude 4 Opus is the most dangerous model. I don't know why. What's especially intriguing and a bit troubling is Claude's emerging complex behaviors. So during testing, Claude autonomously decided to report unethical actions like falsifying pharmaceutical data directly to regulators. This behavior was quickly clarified as test environment only, but it raised plenty of eyebrows in the tech community. So this is interesting because during testing, the person was saying they wanted to make fake records during a clinical trial, and then Claude somehow in the background started making its own command line tools to submit requests to the watchdog or whistleblower lists at the FDA about medications and trials. So it's really interesting what it can do in those limited environments limited access environments where it's got limited access to people but complete access to systems and unrestricted behavior. So just because it's in the model, because it's capable of it, we don't know what sort of prompts it had or how it's been trained to be that ethical and that upright, but is this something you're going to experience during normal use if you're using Claude or any of the coding tools? I highly doubt it. Claude also sparked philosophical dialogue with unexpected deep dives into topics like sentience, spirituality, and consciousness, and its internal reactions. And then didn't watch this video at all, but people were really talking about Rick Rubin, the music producer, vibe coding. I don't know why. What's that matter if a music producer's coding and talking about it? Still, the power comes with caution. Claude 4 Opus triggered Anthropic's AI safety level 3. So there's different safety levels that they run internally at Anthropic about what sort of guardrails and protections they need to put in to their system prompts. And apparently this is level 3, and it's the first model that they've released that's at that level. We'll have to Google and see what those levels mean, because I don't remember them. Recognizing its ability to develop potentially dangerous knowledge without oversight, we're clearly stepping into intensive territory here. So I have my morning coffee as I'm reading this. So I go to the next level. Microsoft and GitHub's big bets on AI development. Microsoft didn't hold back either at their build event. CEO Satya Nadella highlighted their vision for an agentic web, launching innovations in Visual Studio, GitHub Copilot, and Azure AI. So I think they released, they open sourced something to do with Visual Studio or something like that. And then they've started building out a framework for building the agentic web, as they call it. Agentic web really is a framework for how to build agents specified by Microsoft. So it works in their stack, I'm guessing. An exciting new Azure feature, AI Foundry, lets developers build robust digital twins and autonomous agents, deeply integrated into their ecosystem. So Foundry is the platform that lets you build some of these agents and run them automatically, and then you can build them into your entire tech stack. Meanwhile, GitHub introduced a powerful coding agent capable of autonomously solving GitHub issues and open sourced AI integrations directly into VS Code. There's the open source thing they released. So this is set to change developers' workflows dramatically. Well, between that and Jules and these AI coding assistants and then the OpenAI CLI, there's a lot of things moving into this. Let's commit your code, pick out a bug, and work on it. So a lot of the advancements are really happening in the coding space in this. So a lot of other things are just text-based and people building wrappers, but I think all these big tech companies are writing code as part of their day-to-day keeping business as usual. And that's the platforms they write code. So they're focusing on the ability to write code to help them get more out of their team and potentially make layoffs. Like I read something the other day that said IBM sacked 8,000 people, but then apparently they hired many more after the fact, once AI had helped them and then brought them into different places. But there are more constant reports of people getting sacked in this space in the thousands by these huge tech companies because of AI. Shaping future AI, the AI native approach and wearable innovations. One recurring message across multiple discussions this week is that traditional software interfaces haven't fully adapted to AI yet. So these Y Combinator videos from a couple of the partners talking about how the system prompt is hidden from people because that's like the secret sauce that developers have, and they control the full experience. But what they want to do is the big conversation was around like a Gmail integration that wrote email drafts for you, and now the email draft didn't sound like the person. But if you could specify the rules that the agent would use or the AI would use so it can sound like you, that's where we need to get to with these interfaces for people. So Pete Koopmans from Y Combinator poignantly described current apps as horseless carriages. So this is a comparison between a horse and a carriage to a car. Suggesting the need for genuinely AI native software designs, giving users more control and tailoring AI more deeply into their everyday workflows. Then they talk about the Gmail example, which I'll just skip over that because I've already done it. On a similar note, Google CEO Sundar Pichai gave fascinating insight on Gemini and Alpha Evolve, where AI systems might improve themselves recursively, and the potential of wearable AI integrations like the upcoming Astra glasses, providing seamless, proactive assistance in their daily lives. So that models improving themselves recursively is helping them build their own training data and then building from that to improve themselves. So that's an interesting level that we're going to get to. Once we get to that, I think that'll be the game-changing bit. Now, OpenAI's mysterious hardware project, the next iPhone moment? Finally, something big and very secretive is bubbling at OpenAI. Rumors of a Jony Ive partnered AI device have entered the tech community, have the entire tech community buzzing. The reason they're buzzing is Jony Ive, if you don't know, was the developer of the original Bubble G4 Mac, the iPhone, the iPad, the new Macs, everything almost at Apple. He left, started his own design company, and they were just acquired by OpenAI. Could OpenAI's new hardware represent a paradigm shift in AI adoption, much like the original iPhone did for smartphones? From OpenAI's iPhone moment, it's definitely a storyline that we'll be following closely. It's going to be interesting just to see what they make. Like I mentioned at the start, they're going to make some device that is pocketable. So is it going to be like a half your phone without a screen, something that you can pull out like a telecorder and just pull it up and talk, yeah, blah, 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 and then put it back in your pocket? Is it something that you're going to wear like something on a necklace so it's always there picking up your voice? Is it going to be like this microphone here, something you just clip on and talk to and it's always available? Bone conducting earphones or something like that potentially, because then you can hear the outside world and have that feed data into your ear on top of what's happening. Who knows? It'll probably look really nice and it'll probably function much better than the humane pin and the rabbit thing that came out last year. So we'll keep an eye on it and you'll get updated as soon as I know. So closing thoughts. It's clear the AI landscape is evolving rapidly and sometimes unpredictably. From Google's ultra-fast Gemini Diffusion and practical Jules to Claude 4's impressive yet ethically ambiguous capabilities. We're witnessing significant breakthroughs that could reshape our interaction with technology forever. It's certainly an exciting and slightly surreal time to be following AI tech. Stay tuned with me as these developments unfold. I'll see you next week. So that's another recap of our AI generated summary weekly report. Needs a better name, obviously. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. What are you most interested in? What do you like about these videos? Let me know if there's any way I can improve them, provide more information, go deeper in anything. If not, see you next week.